Move to the director's report on item number 3. And wait a minute. Mr. Enig, show Mr. Enig leaving the room on this item, on item number 3.
I think that's
okay.
Okay. Yeah, 3 and what?
3 and 8.
3. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Let me get into the director's report for you. I too want to thank the city of Irving. I don't need that graph up yet. I have quite a story to tell before that graph comes up. The first item I want to talk about is the Metropolitan Transportation Plan and Blacklands Toll Road. So the plan amendment that we're requesting is not on your agenda for today. It'll be on your agenda for November. So it is not an action item. We're still reviewing the comments received. We will have a staff recommendation in time for the technical committee. That staff recommendation will be by October 17th. When we send it to the technical committee, we'll send it to you, and we'll send it to the media, and we'll send it to all the people that gave us comments, so everyone will know what the staff recommendation is. It involves 2 parts: the path forward in doing the transportation study that we're doing, and obviously the path forward with regard to the transportation plan. So we have to address both of those. I want to take a moment and thank Amanda Wilson from our staff, our public information officer. It has been an extremely busy 6 weeks for her, but she did an unbelievable job in preparing a public meeting for 1,241 people to attend, having a room big enough and have all the amenities necessary to conduct a public meeting. That was on September 22nd. Because we hit a room limit on a previous meeting and we had people out of town, we then had to, in short order, get live streaming up for people to be able to watch the meeting. So we wanted to pilot it anyway to see how we could do live streaming to get and continue to support a bottom-up approach. We had 455 access points in the live streaming. Obviously, there were some out of town, but most of those were probably people within the region. We had a video of the meeting, and we put it on the internet for people to review. 700 people reviewed our public meeting. I don't know if they stayed with us for all 6 hours. I don't have that for you. But if you sum that up, that's a minimum of 2,500 persons participating in what is one item we believe in strongly is a bottom-up approach and citizens participating in the future of their transportation system. There's a petition that I think has crossed 3,000 signatures. A lot of those I know you're receiving as well. But it's been a very busy time. I believe a very positive time if you really believe in listening to the users of our system to get direction in our future. The public has 3, I think, compelling issues. I think we're running somewhere around 95% opposed to the Blacklands toll road, and I think it falls into basically 3 items. The opposition to the project, being a toll road, and the quality of life that the citizens have in that part of the region, they perceive to be in direct conflict with the introduction of that transportation facility. And we'll know by October 17th what at least our recommendation will be with regard to that. There are concerns, even though under state law, there is the ability of a private developer to have eminent domain authority. There are companies that are grandfathered, I believe 2 or 3 are still active. They're grandfathered by the legislature to be able to build toll facilities. But a public, having a private sector company with eminent domain authority that can build a toll road for a profit is a concern to the citizens. It is a question we wish to be addressed by the legislature. In item 8.1 in Amanda's legislative item, we include a statement requesting the legislature to evaluate, is that still how they wish to proceed. The third is with regard to potential environmental impacts, and we will address that in a moment. With our minutes going to TxDOT. TxDOT oversees the environmental process, we do not. So our minutes that should be completed shortly will be transferred over to the Dallas District, to send them to the Environmental Division to see if the Environmental Division wishes to do anything different with regard to that environmental process. The Blacklands toll project is not in the plan. It's in a study recommendation. So we do have to decide how to conduct our study and what our recommendation will be in the transportation plan, not just in this quarter, but the other quarters that our staff has presented to you in the past. And this is what the conflict is. The conflict is you have very passionate citizens wishing to maintain the quality of life and the future that they have, up against, especially in Collin County, more people will locate in Collin County between now and 2040 than live there today. Think about that for a moment. More people will locate in Collin County between now and 2040 than live there today. And that's not just our demographics forecast, it's forecasts that are done by independent people. Collin County is probably the fastest growing part of the United States. And, you know, more so the responsibility of this staff to recommend not what should be done tomorrow, but we have to recommend what should be done in order to sustain a region in 2035 and 2040. We can't just take the easy way out. The responsibility of the Metropolitan Planning Organization is to try to make sure the 3 million people that have not yet arrived have some transportation system as part of that mix. You also have added to this KCS, a Class 1 railroad, who wishes to build an intermodal facility, and we will be spending a lot of time between now and October 17th trying to get what the latest KCS plans are. But an intermodal facility of the size KCS is planning also has transportation implications. And that KCS intermodal facility is basically a ground zero with regard to this part of the region and our recommendations. So, I think the bottom line is we've been requested by you to do this study for over a year. I thought we were making great progress. The technical analytics has concluded we have a barrier with the 2 lakes. So you have Interstate 30, State Highway 66, State Highway 78, and US 380, carrying more than their fair share of the traffic across those facilities. But in the last 60 days, the tone has changed very dramatically than where we were the first 12 or 14 months in the study. So we obviously will have to rectify those 2 items and bring forward a path forward to you. So if you look at the staff director's report, item 1, I do want to underscore the importance of a bottom-up approach. That is our strength, always has been, and always will be. Even though you're getting strong negative comments, it doesn't change the importance of a bottom-up approach. The Blacklands Toll Road decision, October 17th, will be the last date we come up with a path forward, and we will let you know immediately upon that. The issues have arisen with regard to our traffic counts and forecasts. We've reviewed them. We're very comfortable with them. I've asked our staff to not use the newspaper to weigh in between what TxDOT's data is and our data. So I've asked TxDOT to review the data that the citizens have pointed to for them to weigh in with regard to what the purpose of that data is, and not for us to whipsaw our partners in the media. So we hope a half-page white paper comes out by TxDOT says, well, this is what our data is for, what its purpose is intended to be. So we have requested that. There's been recent discussions with regard to staff and staff's involvement. Remember, this organization we're working with is a legitimate organization. It has the support of the legislature. I'm not sure it has the same standing as a TxDOT or a DART or a North Texas Tollway Authority, but it has standing, and we take our partners very seriously. We purposely, in the beginning, firewalled our staff, where we didn't look at any of their results. And if you remember, we told you we were going to do an independent assessment without the benefit of their ideas, and we were going to hire contractors to help us who had no involvement on their project. And we went ahead and did that. We had one person as the liaison. Tom Shelton was that liaison. I think there's quotes of Tom's involvement that are being taken out of context. Tom's job for us was to be the liaison between us and that client, that customer, as part of that process. So there's been some discussion about that. With regard to the legislative program, as I mentioned earlier, that'll be an 8.1, and Amanda will bring that to your attention. And then the public record, when the minutes are complete, we will send those to the district to see what TxDOT wishes to do with regard to the environmental process. The bottom line is there are needs that have to be met. And I think I indicated to you over the summer, even before this happened, that if the pendulum swings with regard to tools versus revenues, that pendulum is going to swing within the Dallas-Fort Worth region. And I think this is an opportunity to request our legislature, where I think we would easily say in the last session, if you can't give us revenue, give us tools. And I think the communication is tools are no longer good enough. You really need to focus on TxDOT's $5 billion worth of need. The citizens of the state have an opportunity to vote on the Proposition 1 item in November. And then, if positive, that takes you maybe 20% of the way to this, 25% of the way to these $5 billion worth of needs. We are so far from the main path of building transportation in this country, where we pay as you go, money meets the needs, where we're 2 streets over, developing sophisticated things like apps to get on toll facilities with discounts, because the main path forward is no longer available.